Hey, Sgt Don Gulla here. Hey, let's talk about, we need to train, but now we're isolated. What can we use at home to practice? Well, obviously number one on my list is going to be the SIRT training pistol, right? If you don't have one of these, right, these, we use them at the academy, we use it in DT, we use it in mock scenes. But the biggest benefit of these is that it's completely inert, right? It also fits in your holster, right, which is a big one, fits in law enforcement holsters. So we're able to use these, have a magazine that you can reload, right? Has dual lasers, so you have a take-up indicator, which tells me that I'm pulling the trigger, and then one that actually that it's braking. So if I'm shooting here at Bob back here, you can see that I'm actually putting one take-up indicator, two, I'm actually pulling the trigger. So there's been a lot of reviews on these. We're not going to talk as much on the SIRT pistol, but probably for all-around training, it's probably number one on my list because it's easy to use, no setup, and there's not anything I need to add to it down the road because there's no gas or rounds to put into it. So let's go to next on the list. Let's talk about, right, but I want a blowback. So we're going to go with an Airsoft pistol, and we have a couple different versions here. So let's talk about, let's go with the one that uses the CO2 cartridge, right? You're able to put that into the magazine, right? The one benefit about using CO2, easier to ship, a little bit cheaper, but it doesn't last, right, as long as you probably want it to. So I'll give you an example here that we have this one set up. I actually have the combat shroud on this one, right? So this also has a setup that I have the laser ammo installed. So when I actually pull the trigger, it's actually going to show where I'm hitting. So we're going to do an example here. I have the one gas set up, going to put it in, right? So now it's charged, and when I pull the trigger, it's going to do two things. So one, it's going to actually blow back, right? So it's cycling, but it's actually reporting, right, where I'm hitting. There's a red, right? You can see the red laser hitting. The one drawback on the laser ammo, it doesn't work on the laser software program, which I thought it was going to. It doesn't work. So I have to find another alternative. It doesn't give you a good visual feedback as the laser pistol. And I'll give you an example here. So here I'm shooting. I can see where I'm hitting pretty easy. This one's relatively quick, but it does give me the feedback, right? No matter how I'm shooting, right? If I'm using where I'm grabbing over to practice, right, the G-wraps position, at least I can see what's happening when I'm firing, all right? So that's a CO2 cartridge, right? Easy to pick this up at any hardware store, sporting goods, pretty easy to find. Let's go to the next version. I also have a laser ammo barrel installed on this, so it's going to give me a report, but I'm also have it set up to where I'm going to use it with green gas. So green gas, right, it's a little bit harder to ship, it's a little bit more expensive. So what you're going to do is you're filling up these, fill it up, pull it out, put it in your gun, right, charge it up, right, it's going to go, and it gives a report, right, you can see where I'm hitting, a little bit harder to see, right, on Bob, but at distance, probably a little bit harder to see on my heads in the background. I don't know if you can see it from the back of the room, a little bit harder to pick up, right, where I'm shooting. But you do get the feedback from the slide going back. So that's probably, as we're moving up, the easiest for you to get, right? So laser ammo, SIRT training pistol, CO2, green gas, which is basically, I think it's like propane, right? That's why it's pretty flammable. So be careful if you're using any electronic control with it, because we have a couple videos of them actually firing at someone once they've discharged it and went whoof. So be cautious using that if you're using it with any type of taser. So let's go on to the final one, which I like, and that's going to be probably the most difficult. So the problem is that if you're going to an actual Glock, like a T-17, T-19, I have it set up for a UTM barrel, that this gives you an actual field grip trigger pull to where, as I'm actually doing it, all right, 1 second here. All right, so this is going to have one that's going to eject. Going to put my safety glasses on. So with this, I actually have the front sight off because I have it set up for the combat shroud. But with this, you're actually using ammunition, and these are silent blanks. So we use a lot of silent blanks for mock scenes, for defensive tactics, or for gun disarms, because you're going to see that the weapon's going to cycle, but it's not going to let anything come out of the barrel. So I have these loaded up here, right? I'm going to load it up, right? And as I pull the trigger, you're going to see nothing's coming out the barrel, but it's going to eject out towards the camera here. So here we go. All right. Oh, try it again here. Here we go. All right. So that's jamming a little bit. Don't know why. But as I might be limp wristing it here. So I'm going to do it here. Yeah, probably limp wristing it a little bit. The nice thing about this is that with the UTM, you buy the UTMs from UTM. You have to buy the Glock. Here's the biggest problem. Trying to buy one of the T-17 Glocks, even as a police officer, probably not going to happen, right? They've made them very, very difficult to buy. I don't know a way around it. If you're at an agency, you can get it. There are some civilian trainers that are able to buy them, but these are probably the nicest because, one, I can create a malfunction drill that now have to clear the drill, either tap, rack, and make it go, or strip, right? Cycle, 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 put another one in, get it going. That allows you to do it. The other benefit is that if I want to know for real when I'm struggling, right, how much does it take to take the gun out of battery, all right? Again, nothing comes out the barrel. I can hold it in front of my hand, nothing comes out. This allows you to be able to grab and struggle over it, but when you grab it, right, I just took it out of battery. It's not going to go off, right? I can push it out of battery, not going to go. Let it come back a little bit, right? Now it's ejecting. So that's the benefit of using the UTM. They also have the blanks. With the blanks, different barrel, and you have to have a standoff, right? The standoff needs to be at least probably a foot because you are going to get a report out the barrel. These are battlefield blanks, are a little bit louder, good for active shooter. But these are some of the things to play with. Let me know what you think. Cert Pistol, anything you can do dry fire with. Obviously, you can use a live weapon. Make sure you do your full weapons check, separate them, go into where I'm going to practice. So enjoy, right? Be safe. All right, one more I want to share with you that I came up with probably, more than 10 years ago, maybe 15. So before any of these Cert Pistols, Airsoft, right, we had our basic red guns or blue guns. So I converted it with a little Dremel to where I actually put a rubber band kit. Nice thing about this is with the rubber band kit, you can actually have it set up to where you can fire, right? And it gives you a chance to actually fire at someone, see if it jams. So that's another one, creative one to do it. If you have a chance to do it, maybe a 3D printer or something, you might look at creating your own 3D print that fits in a holster that matches your Glock or whatever you're carrying. But pretty easy to do. Just need to be able to print it out, install a kit, right? Rubber band gun. Enjoy.